Doom. Just saying its name sends tingles down the spine of gamers everywhere who have had time to experience it or its sequels. It's a franchise built on innovation, fun, brutality, and, of course, controversy. But what if I told you that one of the most controversial entries in the series wasn't even one of the mainline games? Yes, of course, the original Doom and Doom 2 weren't really strangers to being an easy target. They're regularly brought up in discussions regarding violence in video games. They're pinned as a cause for crime, violence, and delinquency. It was a name that was on every news station's lips, and paranoid parental groups lost their minds just at an uttering of the name. Doom had come, and its impact was felt throughout the world, and not just in the gaming industry itself. And behind that game was an extremely dedicated community. Fans that learned the levels inside and out, created fan art, created movies, fostered speedrunning as we know it today, and started to create their own new adventures to share within Doom's engine. You see, Doom was an extremely customizable game, and in time people had started building levels at an alarming rate. By 1995, people were putting out packs upon packs of extended content, keeping Doom and later its sequel very much alive even to this day. Using services like AOL and CompuServe, amateur developers were pumping out mods that varied from barely playable to drawing the interest of John Carmack himself. Most impressive of all, these level packs were free. If you had an internet connection, you could play anything from complete reworks of the game, to sprite swaps, to incredibly challenging levels. Doom even housed mods that acted purely as image galleries for the most sophisticated Doom guys among you. Of course, there's a bit of an underbelly to all this too. You see, as with everything that sees popularity, people realized that there was money to be made through all this, and started selling level packs on CD-ROMs in stores, and violating id's own terms of service, but cashing in on a quick buck on Doom Mania. It had become a pretty lucrative way to make some cash, and Doom fans were getting more and more eager to get their fix. The internet was nowhere near as big as it is today, so people would buy these packs in order to fill that void. A void that id must have been a little bit aware of. Because you see, just a few short days before Quake shook the world, another id licensed game was released. Well, I guess you couldn't really call it much of a game on its own, but I guess you could call it Final Doom. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. What is Final Doom? Final Doom is an expansion for Doom 2, featuring 2 brand new episodes, TNT Evilution and the Plutonia Experiment. 32 brand new levels offering a new level of extreme challenge to those brave enough to face them that even a seasoned Doom player might have some trouble with, while still remaining its own standalone title in its own right. Hell, some of these levels were even praised by American McGee, who had been one of the level designers for multiple id projects at that point. For a Doom fan, what's not to love? More challenges, more levels, all in a convenient package for sale in stores near you. You see, that's where the problem lays in this whole story. Let's go back in time a little bit to November 1995, when a little mod pack was about to hit the scene and be released just like any other level pack initially does, online, for free. People were excited, and were counting down the days to this level pack's release just to give it a shot. The team involved was pretty well respected in the community, and it seemed like going into the launch of this level pack, nothing could possibly go wrong. And then everything did. The release date came, and with it, a message from the team. Hi again. I know many are waiting for TNT Evilution to be released today. The snafu that occurred on Monday was this. We made TNT too cool! At the 11th hour, we were contacted about the possibility of it being released commercially, and asked to delay release until Friday, so they could determine if they wanted it. They do. Further discussions are currently underway. The upshot of this is that TNT will probably be released in stores around the world in January. I will post further information as soon as I can. Quote, H2H Mud, Team TNT PR Coordinator. P.S. No sorry, I am not at the liberty to provide any further information at this time. Naturally, people took this news about as well as you'd expect. Yeah, people were pretty pissed, and arguably rightfully so. Finding out a level pack they'd been promised for free was suddenly going to cost real money was a tough pill to swallow. People were calling for everyone's head, from id to Team TNT. After all, for the people online, why would you pay for a level pack when so many already exist? Some argued that it just spoke to how good this level pack was, that it was so good that it deserved a retail spot, and that it was a good thing that this small modding team could get this sort of spotlight. This would end up actually being a very early version of an argument we still see even today. Ironic in a bit of a sense, because these arguments mainly stem from Bethesda, who now own it. Debates would continue into 1996, and TNT Evilution would miss its projected January release, picking up the Plutonia Experiment along the way. And by the time it was released, it was put in a pretty unenviable spot. What was purchased likely as a stopgap on the path to Quake ended up releasing merely 5 days before Quake hit store shelves, and promptly getting run over by it. When reviewers got their hands on the title, they criticized it too for what fans had been saying for months at this point. That there were an increasing amount of more and more impressive level packs and mods already available for free, making that initial price tag of $40 a little bit bewildering at best. Message boards at the time appear to have completely ignored it, although some users complained about the playability due to the size of some levels on older hardware. The game would also see a PS1 port as well. It was built on the PS1 Doom engine, and it ended up fixing some of the difficulty issues. As for the aftermath, the complaints and controversy surrounding TNT Evilution would land a level pack on Doom World's top 10 infamous WADs list in 2003, and the bait and switch by Team TNT can still be felt as a bad taste in the mouth of some fans that remember it to this day. Despite this, Team TNT would remain active in the Doom modding community, creating the popular Boom source port, which opened the doors for yet more modding opportunities, removing some of the limitations the base game had. They would also continue making levels on and off until about 2008, with their site finally shutting down for good in 2016. Final Doom's final legacy has ironically left it as a free add-on with the GOG release of Doom 2, as well as the recent console ports of both Doom 1 and 2 for a new generation to play. Years later, achieving the promises made all the way back in 1995. Thank you guys for watching, and if you're new, make sure to check out some of our other videos. Kaz recently covered Doom Eternal, and hey, that's actually pretty controversial too now. Thanks, Bethesda. And hey, toss a subscribe too. We'll love you forever, and pinky swear we won't sell ourselves at the 11th hour when we get too cool. Unless we do. Ah well. Till next time, I'm Rin with Thunderclub, and I'll see you later.
"32 completely new levels. The best Doom 2 master levels. The newest Doom 2 episodes, TNT Evilution and the Plutonia Experiment.